Hi, hello, welcome if you're new here, or welcome back either way, hi. I do not own this fanfiction, nor do I own the beautiful fan art used in this video. With that being said, hopefully you enjoy it. A stupid red string. This little piece of thread was supposed to connect me to my soulmate. That didn't stop me from childhood crushes. For example, Andrew Hanbridge. I had grown up with him and Diana as childhood friends. After learning that my string could not attach to someone else, I gave up on my crushes and started focusing on other things like school and more relevant witchcraft. Today was my first day at Luna Nova, my feet planted on the ground underneath the entrance to the ley line. My legs swung over my room, making me way too self-conscious about my skirt length. I ignored the fact that my string went straight through the portal, suppressing the tar-like feeling in my stomach. Come on, Wan, maybe someone's dropping their sister off. I sighed heavily. Yeah, someone's brother is dropping them off. I shook my head. I had said goodbye to my parents at the bottom of the hill. They could probably still see me. I smiled and looked back up. Tia Frele! My feet left the ground. Underneath all the anxiety I felt, I had to laugh at my feet suspended in the air. All throughout the ley line, I had the thought in the back of my head. What if it's not somebody's brother? I landed at the front gate, looked around, and saw my red string going into the school. Okay, well, maybe they are helping their sister set up too. And with that, I started towards my room to move in before orientation. Little update, the red string is in the room. I didn't dare look up from my lap during the orientation presentation. That was until 3 girls scratched into the room. I couldn't help but laugh a little bit. Now that's the experience I want, not just sitting in a stuffy classroom. I'll introduce myself to them later. The brown-haired girl was so energetic, I almost couldn't wait to talk to her. After the scandal, we were set to our rooms. My roommate was Diana and a girl named Hannah. Hannah praised my blonde friend. I found it amusing given that I knew Diana personally. Any news on the string? Diana asked from her desk as the sun set. Hannah looked at me with her eyebrows furrowed, then looked at her own red string on her pinky. So you saw it during orientation? I looked at my bedspread sheepishly. I felt a tug on my string, and I saw Hannah pulling it slightly. She smirked up at me. There were some good-looking girls in there, she said simply. Oh, shush. It came out as half scold, half laugh. Hannah came sitting on the bed next to me, comparing our strings. She shook her head. Mine looks like it's in the school too. She pursed her lips nervously. I tried to calm her nerves as well as mine. Maybe they're roommates. She smiled back at me and nodded quickly. That would be something. Diana had turned in her chair. It seemed like she had ignored her string, crossing her arms and tapping her foot. We should go look, all 3 of us. Hannah shot up from her seat. I considered it. Kinda scared that it might be a girl, and a good-looking one at that. Had been struggling with the fact that, yeah, women were good-looking. Let's be honest, more than good-looking. Oh, shut it, Ryan. I don't know, Hannah. Everyone in the school is probably doing that. Diana had a hint of a smile on her lips. I nodded, regardless of how nervous I was. Maybe if she was in the school, I could come to terms with it quicker, and maybe if it's not then, I can put it off a little longer. I sighed and looked back at my new redhead friend and nodded. She beamed and looked back at Diana. Diana shook her head, looking at me. Bring her back to me so I can make sure she's worth it, all right? She looked between the both of us and turned back around to her paperwork. I grabbed Hannah's hand as we jumped up from the mattress. Come on, Ryan! The witch dragged me out the door. We walked the halls together until our strings separated paths. We looked at each other. I whispered good luck. She nodded and smiled. We walked down the separated halls. It was cold out, and I don't think I registered that beforehand. My string was glowing. That had never happened, so it was an understatement that I panicked. I stood in the hall, pacing before I started to follow it again. I had to find her soon, or the anxiety will kill me. I guess now it has to be she. It's very, 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 very small chance it wouldn't be. I looked at the string on my pinky finger the whole time, following it. When I did look up, I saw a short path to a door at the end of the hall. A dorm. Holy one, this is it. My foot tapped against the cobblestone. I bit my tongue. My string was still glowing. Imagine what the girl in that dorm felt, not knowing why it was neon red. I chuckled at the thought of my soulmate panicking. My eye fell on the door again. I felt my feet move me to the door, without my brain giving permission. Every step, the anxiety built up more and more. And then I was in the front of the door, my hand raised. I took another look at the string. Then I knocked. The door swung open like they were expecting someone. I looked behind her before I looked at her, things still being unpacked. I finally looked up into the eyes of a salmon-haired girl. Technically, she had orange and salmon hair. She was quite pretty, gorgeous even. I looked down at my string again, gulping. I saw the end of the string for the first time, and I couldn't help but laugh. I looked back at the girl. My lord, her eyes were amazing. I shook my head like shaking out of my trance. She seemed to be looking down at me with the same expression, astonished. A smile curled down her lips. I quickly realized the informality of the meeting and extended my hand to her. Juan Ellen. My voice sounded far away, like it was in my head. I double-checked I had said it out loud and waited for her response. She blinked hard. Amanda O'Neill. She shook my hand a little too firmly. I grinned. She needed to work on that if she was meeting my family eventually. Swear to God what I think of now. I saw a purple-haired girl peek over her shoulder, eating a bag of chips. Amanda growled. I told you to stay in there. She sounded kind of obviously annoyed. The girl shook her head. She's pretty. She offered me a chip. Want some? I saw Amanda blush heavily. Don't worry, Amanda. The name felt strange on my tongue. It was a good strange. I reached and took the snack offered. Thank you. I waited for a name. Jasminka. Amanda finished for her, excusing herself from the room with a nod. She came out and closed the door behind her. I got a good look at her. She was different but so stunning. I smiled and shook my head at the thought. I never knew my soulmate would be a girl. I could only manage one sentence. Hannah's gonna freak out. Hi, hello again. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I do not own this fanfiction, nor do I own the beautiful fan art used in this video. With that being said, adios!